Hey there, friends! Have you ever found yourself sitting in your favorite chair, maybe sipping a cup of tea or coffee, and suddenly realized just how quiet it is? No office chatter, no colleagues stopping by to say hello, no busy schedules filling up your day. At first, retirement sounds like paradise. Finally, time for yourself. But if I'm being honest, that quiet can sometimes feel, well, a little lonely. If you've felt this way, please know you're not alone. So many people, especially after retirement, go through a phase where they realize their social circle has shrunk without them even noticing. Maybe your closest friends have moved away, or family members are busy with their own lives, or perhaps you miss those daily interactions from work that made life feel connected. It's okay to admit it. It happens to all of us at some point. But here's the good news. Loneliness doesn't have to be permanent. In fact, today we're going to talk about 5 simple steps you can take to rebuild your social circle and bring more connection back into your life. These aren't complicated or intimidating things. They're practical, doable actions that anyone can start right away. By the end of this video, my hope is that you'll feel inspired and equipped to take that first step toward building stronger relationships again. Before we dive in, I'd love for you to hit that like button if you're watching, because it helps others find this content too. And if you haven't already subscribed, consider joining our community. We share tips every week on staying healthy, happy, and independent as we age. Just tap the bell icon so you never miss an update. All right, let's get started. The first step might sound obvious, but trust me, it's one of the most powerful things you can do. Reconnect with old friends. Think about it. How many people do you know who you used to enjoy spending time with years ago? Maybe it's a coworker you haven't seen since you left the job, or a neighbor from a house you lived in decades ago. Life gets busy, and over time, those connections fade. But they don't have to disappear completely. Social media makes reconnecting easier than ever. Send a quick message saying something like, "Hey, I was thinking about you and wanted to see how you're doing." Or pick up the phone and give them a call. It's amazing how much joy a simple conversation can bring. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. What if they don't remember me? What if they don't want to reconnect? Here's the thing. Most people are thrilled to hear from someone from their past. Even if they're caught off guard, chances are they'll appreciate the effort. And if they don't respond, that's okay too. Don't let fear stop you from trying. You never know which reconnection could lead to a meaningful friendship. The second step is all about joining groups or clubs based on your interests. This is such a great way to meet new people who share your passions. Whether it's a book club, a gardening group, a walking club, or even a local art class, these settings naturally encourage conversation and camaraderie. Plus, when you bond over a shared interest, friendships tend to form faster and feel more genuine. Let me tell you a quick story. My aunt retired a few years ago, and she decided to join a knitting group at her local community center. She wasn't sure what to expect at first, but now she looks forward to those meetings every week. Not only has she learned new techniques, but she's also made lifelong friends who check in on each other regularly. It's proof that stepping out of your comfort zone, even just a little bit, can open doors you didn't even know were there. So, ask yourself, what hobbies or activities light you up? Is there a group nearby, or even online, that focuses on that interest? If you're not sure where to start, try searching online for local events or checking out websites like meetup.com. There are countless opportunities waiting for you to explore. Now that we've covered reconnecting with old friends and finding new ones through shared interests, let's move on to another important step: volunteering. Volunteering isn't just about giving back. It's also a fantastic way to expand your social circle while making a difference in your community. Let's talk about volunteering. You might be surprised by how much it can do for your social life and your spirit. When you volunteer, you're stepping into a space where everyone shares a common goal, whether it's helping at a food bank, mentoring young people, or working with animals at a shelter. These environments naturally foster connection because you're all there to make a positive impact. Plus, the sense of purpose you get from giving back can be incredibly fulfilling. Here's an example. A friend of mine started volunteering at a local library after she retired. She loved books, so it seemed like a natural fit. But what she didn't expect was how much she'd enjoy the camaraderie with the other volunteers and the patrons who came in regularly. Over time, she built relationships that turned into coffee dates, book swaps, and even weekend outings. Volunteering gave her a chance to meet people she might never have crossed paths with otherwise. If you're thinking, "But I don't know where to start," don't worry. It's easier than you think. Start by asking yourself what causes matter most to you. Is it education? The environment? Helping seniors or kids? Once you identify your passion, look for organizations in your area that align with it. Many nonprofits are eager to welcome volunteers, and they'll often provide training or guidance to help you get started. And if leaving the house isn't always easy for you, there are plenty of virtual volunteering opportunities too. You can tutor students online, write letters to service members, or even help transcribe historical documents from the comfort of your home. Now, let's shift gears a little and talk about another powerful way to rebuild your social circle: embracing technology. I know, some of you might be rolling your eyes right now. Maybe you've had a frustrating experience with a smartphone or struggled to figure out Zoom calls during the pandemic. Trust me, I get it. Technology can feel overwhelming, especially if you didn't grow up with it. But hear me out. Learning just a few basics can open up a whole new world of connection. For instance, video calling apps like FaceTime, WhatsApp, or Zoom let you see and talk to family and friends no matter where they live. Imagine being able to chat face-to-face with your grandkids or catch up with a cousin who moved across the country. It's not the same as being in the same room, but it's pretty close, and it keeps those bonds strong. Social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram can also help you stay in touch with loved ones and even discover groups centered around your interests. And here's a bonus tip. If tech feels intimidating, ask someone younger, a family member, neighbor, or even a friend, to show you the ropes. Most people are happy to help, and once you get the hang of it, you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. My mom used to avoid her tablet like the plague until my niece sat down with her one afternoon and showed her how to use video calls. Now she's constantly chatting with her sisters and sending us pictures of her garden. It's been such a game changer for her social life. All right, let's move on to our fourth step, which is all about saying yes to invitations, even when you don't feel like it. I'll admit, this one can be tough. After retirement, it's easy to fall into the habit of saying no because you're tired, unsure, or just prefer staying in. And while there's nothing wrong with enjoying quiet time, consistently turning down opportunities to connect can leave you feeling more isolated over time. Think of it this way. Every invitation is a chance to strengthen a relationship or meet someone new. Whether it's a neighbor inviting you over for coffee, a former colleague asking you to lunch, or a distant relative planning a family gathering, these moments add up. Even small interactions can brighten your day and remind you that you're valued. Of course, I'm not suggesting you say yes to everything. That would be exhausting. But try to push yourself outside your comfort zone every now and then. If you're worried about feeling awkward or out of place, remember that most people are just happy to see you. And if you're nervous about attending something alone, bring a book or a puzzle to keep yourself occupied if there's downtime. Sometimes, showing up is half the battle. Now, let's wrap up with the final step, which is one of the most important: Being intentional about nurturing your existing relationships. While meeting new people is wonderful, it's equally crucial to invest time and energy into the friendships you already have. After all, relationships thrive on care and attention. Let's dive into this last step: nurturing your existing relationships. It's easy to take the people closest to us for granted, especially when life gets busy or routines change. But here's the truth. Friendships require effort, no matter how long you've known someone. The good news is that small gestures can make a big difference. A phone call, a handwritten note, or even a simple text saying, "Thinking of you," can strengthen those bonds and remind both of you why your connection matters. One thing I've learned over the years is that consistency is key. If you have a close friend or family member, try to check in with them regularly, even if it's just a quick message every week or two. Over time, these little efforts add up and create a sense of reliability and trust. And don't forget about shared experiences. Suggest doing something together, whether it's going for a walk, having lunch, or tackling a project like organizing old photos. Spending quality time with loved ones not only deepens your relationship, but also gives you stories and memories to cherish. Now, let me share a personal story with you. My grandfather used to live in a small town where he knew everyone by name. As he got older, though, his mobility became limited, and he started spending more time at home. At first, he felt like his world was shrinking. But then, one of his neighbors, an elderly woman who lived down the street, started stopping by once a week to play cards with him. That simple tradition brought so much joy into his life. They weren't just playing games. They were sharing laughter, swapping stories, and keeping each other company during quiet afternoons. It reminded me that sometimes the smallest acts of kindness can have the biggest impact. So, as we wrap up today's conversation, let's recap what we've talked about. First, reconnecting with old friends can reignite relationships you thought were lost. Second, joining groups or clubs based on your interests helps you meet new people who share your passions. Third, volunteering offers a double reward. It lets you give back while expanding your social circle. Fourth, embracing technology opens doors to staying connected, no matter the distance. And finally, nurturing your existing relationships ensures that the people you care about most remain a vibrant part of your life. Remember, rebuilding your social circle doesn't happen overnight, and that's perfectly okay. Start small, take one step at a time, and celebrate the progress you make along the way. Whether it's reaching out to an old friend, attending a local event, or simply picking up the phone to chat, every action counts. You deserve to feel connected, valued, and supported. And there are so many opportunities waiting for you to explore. Before we go, I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these steps? Or do you have another idea for staying socially active after retirement? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one, and I know others will benefit from hearing your experience too. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to our channel. We're here to support you with tips and encouragement every step of the way. So tap the bell icon to stay updated on future videos. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope you leave feeling inspired and empowered to take that next step toward building a richer, more connected life. Remember, you are never too old to make new friends, strengthen old bonds, or create moments of joy. Keep shining, keep connecting, and most importantly, keep being you. Until next time, take care and stay wonderful.